to start off with the blunders. The blunderificus sightings. You know, the species blunderificus happens on this show quite a bit, and we want to start off with the blunderificus sightings. Oh, is that another blunder we see? Yeah, that's right. Because I've shown you guys blunders on the stream before, right? I've shown you many blunders. We've been showing a lot of blunders lately, as a matter of fact. But the deal is that we have usually seen them at a lower level, right? Lower level players. We haven't seen the blunders happen like the top G's, like the top guns. These guys are killers. They don't blunder. Oh, watch how many happen in this. I can't even show everything, but I'm going to show you some blunders. And if you feel bad because you blunder, oh, I blunder. I don't feel good about myself. I blunder. Why can't I play better chess? I blunder. Oh, yeah? Oh, well, let's watch what happens when even the best of the best are playing. All right? So there's some blunders that you would never suspect. You're like, did that just happen? That didn't happen. So let's start off. We're just going to go through this list. I put the list together. We're going to start off with this one. I don't know if you've seen this one, but here is a position where Levon Aronian has white against Jordan van Forest. And it's been a game. Levon has been struggling. It's a queen ending. Black's up 2 pawns. This is out. GM Blunders cheers you up. Prophylaxis. I hear you. I hear you. It should. It should make you realize that they're human too. You are not the only one who makes mistakes. GMs do it too. All right? And even the super GMs, highest of the highest level GMs. All right? Let's start with this one, number 1. White is busted. Let's be clear. White is busted. White's only dream is checking this king forever as much as you can and hope it just doesn't get out of all the potential checks that you're going to pull off. All right? That's what you're hoping for. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Black can play a move like queen to f3, for example, in this position and make the guy suffer. Your queen can't ever leave because the g-pawn is hanging. You're not getting any perpets because the king is either going to walk up or walk over. Black's going to win this game. But the disease strikes them all. And the first blunderifica sighting is, how does black to move help white to mate in 2? That's the question. If I gave you this as a puzzle, you'd be like, that's a terrible puzzle, Maurice. Why are you doing puzzles where the person helps the other person, which is called a helpmate? It's a real puzzle. The person helps the other person to checkmate. Well, because if you know this in advance, you might know the moves your opponent can't make because they're going to help you to checkmate. And what did Jordan van Forest do in this position? Hey, a helpmate. How else can you allow yourself to be mated in 2? Let's make the move that allows that. Queen to f5, allowing check. And oops, your queen is blocking your king from running. The worst move you could play, other than donating your queen, the worst move you can play, and even giving up the queen is not worse than this. Even if he had played this move, check, and blundered his queen, this move, at least you get mated later. How about the worst move you could make, not giving up your queen and allowing mate in 2? Whoop! There goes that. Now the game is over from up 2 pawns to mate. Yeah, that's right. It makes the Botez Gambit look like nothing. Yeah, I'd rather give away my queen and have a chance. Okay, I have no chance. But still, mate in 2? Come on. That was bad. That was bad. That might be the worst one that we see, just in terms of just like, whoop. But we started the party off early, so let's go on to the next one. Because if you're just going to say, oh, it's Jordan van Forest, you know, I mean, he did win Linares, but he's not like still one of the elite of the elite, so he can make that blunder. Well, let's try the elite of the elite, Wesley So, playing against Anish Giri. It's just a position. Things are happening, you know, black's up a pawn, but there's a lot of game to play. This pawn is isolated. This game, play rook d4, gang up on the pawn. All's good in the hood. And you're going to be fine here. Sooner or later, you're going to play for c4. It's money. Just coordinate. And then execute. No problem. Easy peasy. What does he do in this position? Wesley So, one of the greatest players in the world. Pure D stone cold genius. Thank you, it's a trap. He plays C4. What? C4? Why don't you gang up on that? Whenever you want to win material, make sure it can't run away. Everybody, lions in the jungle know that. You don't want them running away. You know that lions, they hunt in packs, right? They send one group up to the front, and then the other one will chase the prey right into the other group. You want to make sure it can't move. You don't want it to be like, oh, I'm trying to win that pawn. Hey, wait a minute. It can move? Yeah, it can move. Wesley naively, and I mean straight up naively, thought, oh, look at that. It's a pawn. Let me take it. Oh, that looks free until, boom! Ouch. Oh, where did that come from? What? Rook takes E3. Anish said, give me the whole piece. Thank you very much. Now you can't even intermezzo rook takes because of check. And obviously if you take, then queen takes with check and your rook is took. How bad is that? If you think you blundered, yeah, Wesley So. I mean, Wesley So. Just donation. Just here's a point. You want a point? Here it goes. Wesley So missing tactics like this. Wesley So is one of the greatest tactical minds on the planet. We will see one of his games later in this broadcast. One of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life. Rapid, blitz, bullet, classical, correspondence, alien, you name it. Okay? Yeah, we've seen some alien games. Computer chess, you name it. The game Wesley played, oh my God, we're gonna see it later. I'm just gonna give you a little preview. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I might give a body part, like a piece of a pinky, so that could be my game and rest on my laurels forever that I played a game that genius, even if it was classical, even if it was correspondence, and this guy did it in a rapid game. It reminds me of the game he beat Kasparov in Blitz, the immortal Blitz game. He does some stuff instinctively that it would take us hours going like this. And he's like, this, and a this, and a this, and a like this, and a this, and a, yeah, right. Gangster. Yeah, indeed. The game against Levon. Just ridiculous. But here, he just blunders in a one-mover. They're like, who's playing white? Wait a minute, Wesley So just blundered a piece? Yes, everybody blunders, all right? Everybody. On to the next one, and we see everybody's going to join the party. I mean, if you're in the party, might as well join. It's a blunder party. It's a blunder fest, so why not join the party? Everybody's got to do it. Here we have a position where black is doing quite well. Got a nice protected passer in the position and applying pressure to the c-pawn. So clearly, black's doing well. The game's not nearly over. There's a long way to go. This pawn is protected multiple times, so it's not going to die. This pawn is blockaded. We got a long way to go. White's going to have to manufacture a loss. Well, let's enjoy the blunderificus sightings. First, the bishop on d6. Ooh, that bishop looks strong, doesn't it? You just cemented it. Put the pawn on b6. That's a good place to put a c5. Oh, look at that pawn, that bishop. That's working. Except this pawn not quite holding the bishop well. We can always kick the pawn. So he pushed the bishop on a square he thought was good. Turns out that bishop's going to be a target on that square. First things first, thank you very much for moving your pawn so my queen can centralize. Now, he's still okay. He's still okay. He's got to play this right. He's just got to keep his head. What did he do? Played rook e1. He's doing okay. All right, now comes the good part. b6 gets played on the board. b6. Now, this is a moment when you've got to watch and you got to be accurate. You've got multiple moves here. Multiple. The most interesting move, actually, is to surrender the piece in one move. Take a look. Because now your rook is hanging, right? So if you try rook takes rook on this move, queen takes, and now if you decide to take this b-hop right here, then suddenly, whoops, what did that come from? Pawn pushing to b7, and you can't take it because of, whoop, check to your king, and your rook's hanging. What? Like, what? Where did that come from? All right, that would have been a brilliancy, a brilliant defense. In fact, after takes, the rook would have to move out of the way, then the bishop could get away, and then you take the pawn, and you're still doing well as white. That would have been a move. Now, if he had some time to consider, ruminate, cogitate, investigate, he might have found that. What did he do? Queen a6. What's the queen doing there? Number one, the queen has no longer blockaded the pawn. This pawn could move at any moment. Number two, the queen no longer defends this rook. So that's pinned for real. For real, though. All right? Now, you've done two bad things. Number three, your queen is all the way over here, so your pieces have suddenly become disjointed. Thank you, Tribeca Castle. Whoa. That is hyper generous of you. What a cheer. Sorry, folks. That caught my attention. Man, that is extremely generous of you. Much appreciated. Thank you. That is very generous. Very, very generous. Thank you so much. All right. That's cool. That's very cool. Thank you. So, Queen a6, just all these pieces are just all over, just stretched. Like, just absolutely no coordinative power whatsoever. Zero. Zilch. So, what's the monster move right now? The rook is hanging. The rook is pinning. Do you want to move your piece away? Hell no. Just back the other rook up. I love retreating moves that connect pieces. Look at that. The rooks are now nice. You still can't take on that square because, whoop, that's dropping. And now this monster is about to be released. And if this pawn pushes, let's be clear, this bishop's going to show up on d4, whoop, and you're going to get wrecked. Mating attacks will start against your king. So watch out. Moving this queen away was a true world-class blunder if you've ever seen one. And he followed. Now he's panicking. He's like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? I just froze everything. What do I do now? Queen back to c4. Well, queen c4. I'm going to just let you know what's coming. Okay? Ready? You know what's coming. Boom! Thanks for the piece that you put there and you messed it up. Now you go. Now you die. Thank you very much. Give me the piece. That's pinned. Hello, give me your queen. And of course, my queen takes. I just take. That was so, just the orchestration. White just orchestrated the loss of the piece. Just let me do it like this and a this and a this and a this. Okay, now win my piece. I mean, wow. Incredible. Incredible how that happened. Indeed. All right, well, we're going to see more incredible blunders. Here goes another one. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov against Alireza Firouzja. The young gun has the black pieces, but we're looking at it from white standpoint. Why are we looking at it from white standpoint? Well, thank you, Monkey Strategy. Well, because white's going to do the orchestration. All right? Now, let's get it clear. This pawn is hanging, and black said, all right, let me just move my king and chill. What are you going to do about this pawn? Rook up is not going to look good. That back rank is going to win the pawn anyway. So, for example, rook d4 check. If you bring the rook back, we snack on your pawn. If you bring the knight back, your rook is guarding both this pawn and this knight. So all we got to do is just attack it. Move the rook. Just move it. Just move it, and let us take the pawn. Okay, you lose a pawn. Life goes on. What you going to do? All right. In this position, he played a genius move. Give him credit. He played the move. Rook takes on d6. It's a good move. It's a very good move. Well, first of all, obviously, the guy's not going to take and let you just fork him. And that'll just be laughter. No, that's not going to happen. After rook takes d6, though, Alireza played the only move available to black, which is rook takes e3. You take me, I take you. Now, it is white's turn to move. What do you do here, folks? What do you do here? you've got to make a deep consideration. Either you keep material, or you keep the material balanced, or you give away material and defend. Even world-class super GMs who sacrifice material all day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even they are inclined to keep material, even when it's clearly bad. Clearly bad. In this position, clearly you should bring your rook back to D1. All right. Thank you, Razor. Is that Razor Brand? Play rook A3. This pawn is dead. It's dead. But it's a 4 against 3. This is a known endgame that is not easy to hold, granted, but is more draw than anything else. Guy, you're world-class GM. You should be looking to draw this position, not lose it. Especially after a move like H4, put the pawn on G3, and chill and just take care of business. It's just one extra pawn. All of them on the same side. Play the game. Nope. What did he do in this position? He said, let me take the rook. King takes. Now I have the outside passer. Well, you know, you got to be inside the square of this pawn. This king is well inside the square of the pawn, okay? Well inside the square. So it's catching this pawn with no effort. Not only that, your king cannot disrupt the beauteousness of these guys. Just cold-cut lovely. Loverly. This is just problematic. Like lost. Okay, here comes your king. But whoa, 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 whoa. I thought my king was coming up quickly. No, sorry. Not going to happen. All right. Now, we're keeping your king out. Where do you think your king's going? Nowhere. The answer is nowhere. Give us the pawn. Gift. And now here comes this guy who's going to come back just as fast as you. Hey, maybe our king will get there in time. Hey, maybe you won't. Okay, now you got to go find the base of the pawn, and that's way too far. And guess what? After this move, I'm just queening. That was too easy. That was too easy. Just like one move, that's it, done. Just, that's it, done. I mean, what? Hey, huh? That's it. Basic king and pawn. But when the pressure and the clock's ticking, it gets bad. But check this out. Let's go on to the next one. All right. I'm just saying, this is all for, this is, what I'm doing right now is making you all feel better so that you're like, oh man, I play like grandmasters. I really do. Yeah, my moves suck too. Look at this. Well, you really don't, because their moves suck every once in a while yours, okay, let me leave that alone. But look, you've got to feel just a little bit better about yourself as you see all the variety of world-class players make mistakes when the pressure is on, okay? You blunder like the best of them. Dang 'em, yeah, indeed. We blunder like the best of them. Hey, I've done blunders like this. Absolutely, when under pressure. All right, here we got a position. It is Radjabov against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. I mean, the names are just huge names, big-time names, all right? Let's watch this one. Black is perfectly fine. This is just a position. You probably just want to play a move like D5. It's going to block up the game. The game's going to be equal, whatever. Radjabov said, you know what? I don't want to do that. Let's just start a mass trade. Let's trade, and let's trade again. For those of you who like to just trade and trade again, watch how painful this is going to get, all right? Because this is just another blunderifica sighting. What are you doing? Rook D1. Rook D1. Leaving this bishop alone. No protection to your bishop. This is going to end badly. Check. And whoops. Your bishop is under attack now. That's a freebie coming at me. And what do? You take? Oh, you think I'm taking back so you can get away? Intermezzo. Give me the piece. Now if your bishop well, neither one of your bishops is getting out of this one alive, or at least maybe one will, but not the other one. Somebody's going down. Somebody's going down, and it looks like white. Just like that. Just like that. I mean, look at the blunder, folks. He didn't have to trade. He didn't have to let this bishop get weaker. He could have played a move like Queen B2, put a little pressure on his pawn. It's not going to win the game. It ain't going to do nothing. But, all right, the game continues. But to just go on autopilot, trade, and offer another trade. I got the trade I wanted. I have the D file. I'm feeling good. Look what I did. I won the D file. Oh, I'm losing a piece. Oops. Generalized consideration don't count when tactics are on the board. And that's it. Whoop! This is more your level. Mr. Popezilla, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at all these games, and this is what's happening. These players make mistakes too. Get away from your brain the godlike status that you might attribute to these players. They make mistakes too. Now, they don't make these mistakes often. Let's be clear. I'm showing you different players making mistakes. I'm not showing the same player blundering and blundering and blundering and like picking on somebody. It's everybody. Everybody makes mistakes. And that's what happens. This is chess. Under pressure, these players will make mistakes like everybody. Now, they're not going to do it as often as everybody else. That's why they're as good as they are. But they do it from time to time. So, hey, here it comes. Let's move on to another one. Now, before I get to, let me just make sure I have the worst of the worst behind me. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, all right. Now, the next two mistakes are absolutely brilliant mistakes. The next two we're going to go over, these classify as genius mistakes. Thank you, Jimbo. These classify as genius. All right? The ones we just saw, they were just straight up blunderificus. Like, whoa. The next two are just like, you blundered, but I have to be a genius to show you why your blunder is a blunder. This ain't going to be your average blunder that we're going to see next, okay? Check this out. Thank you, Fidel Cashflow. Like it. And Chess Brainiac rating with a party of 9. Welcome to the party, y'all. We've been going over blunders. Yes, Chess Brainiac. Do remember you indeed. We are going over the blunders from the Magnus Carlsen Invitational. For the moment, we're going to go over some genius chess in a second. But right now, we're just going over the blunders, the mistakes, the moves that you might make in your own games. Hey, not so bad to play like a world-class GM. I blunder like the best. I blunder like the best, not like the rest. I blunder like the best. Yes, indeed. You blunder like the rest of them. And this is a blunderific sighting for real, for real. All right? Now, let's continue on the path because we've seen a number of them already. Let's keep this moving because this next one is juicy. This next one is pure D sweet. You got to love this next blunder. Check this out. All right. In this position, the reason I like this blunder is because it's a blunder that is based on a winning idea. Those are the best. The player plays something that they think is a genius move. This is winning. This is a move. This is world class. And then you find out that it's, well, I'm not even going to say the word I was going to say. All right. So this is what is the situation. Nepo is playing against Magnus. It's a position. Black has got some nice power along the B line here. The pawns are solidly defended by a bishop that's not the greatest bishop in the world, but at least it's defended. White's got some power here, but can't really break through. This pawn might be annoying, but it's blockaded fully. So black is doing all right, but black has no breakthroughs. Black can't just get into the other side. So white could just chill and be okay. Chill. Make a normal move. Make a human move. Just make a move. But Nepo didn't want to just make a move. Nepo went, I smell a tactic. I smell a tactic, folks. I'm going to hit Magnus Carlsen with a tactic. So what did he play? Bishop takes c4. Whoop, whoop. All right, I got it. Bing, got it. Boom, stole the pawn. What is his point? Well, if you take my piece, then in your face, Mr. Carlsen. I'm hitting your queen. I'm hitting your bishop. Don't forget about your a5 pawn. Your king sucks. This is all, and I mean all, going in white's favor here after having stolen a pawn, cracked the pawn structure. Look at these ugly pawns. even if you somehow manage to trade queens like this, hoping to trade queens, which you won't, by the way, not going to happen, but even if you somehow manage to exchange queens like this, you still would be getting your feelings hurt after rook takes because your position is so bad. Look at all these yummies and the passed pawn and your exposed king. You're going to die, all right? Even if you manage to do that, this is over. He played bishop c4 like, yeah, what? Go for it. Excuse me. You're playing Magnus Carlsen. Put some respect on his name. Because Magnus went, you know, that's cute. I'm glad you have a tactic, but I see your tactic, and I raise you a monster tactic. Hello. What do you think is about to happen to you now? Now, in this position, you might be like, well, okay, there's some backdoor action that could happen. I see what's coming down. Some backdoor. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because the intended, you know, let me keep the action on the piece. All right. So now maybe if you take, now I get to hit you with this move until Magnus will be like, excuse me, oops, Matutski. Thank you very much. That's what you get for trying to be tactical against me, son. I refute tactics like that for breakfast, okay? I'm eating salmon, Norwegian style. Rook to g8, instant refutation. That's it. Bye-bye. See you on the next trip, all right? This is over and done, son. This is out. Nope, nothing to do. Nothing to do. You play queen e3, just takes. There's a nasty pin on. That's it. You can't play rook d6 in this position. By the way, this is one of those positions I would love to see where the guy plays rook d6, and instead of taking the queen for free, he says, no, I'm checking you, and then I'm going to, oh, I can't even play the move I want to play. I want to play this move, but my queen can't move. I want to play queen b3, but I can't even do it. I'd have to take your queen. That sucks when you have to take the queen. All right, what I want to do is play queen b3. How can I stylize a puzzle where I play queen b3? You play rook down, I take that. No, you got to take my queen. No, it's not going to work. All right, enough fantasy land, Maurice. Anyway, it's pinned. What else could you do here? I mean, what to do? Queen f4 and then play. No, but that's too boring. I need an exciting sacrifice, but I don't see one. So we're going to leave it alone. We're going to leave it alone. All right, this one is just out. Rook g8 by Magnus. Fantastic move. And how did the game go? He did play queen e5, and then he had to play this move. When he got here, that's right. And he got here, he's like, let me just push my pawn. And Magnus is like, negatory. I've heard of this move called pawn takes pawn en passant. I've heard of it, yeah. I've heard of that rule. Give me that pawn. And now I'm going to start playing some tactics on you. You think I'm going to sit back and watch you? I got tactical ideas. I'm still in flow. I want to take this one. What you going to do with that piece? All right. Your man took the pawn, and what did Magnus do? This is what you call genius. This is just like style. This is what you call styling. You ready? Whoop! Magnus? Like, for real, though. Seriously. Seriously. You're just showing off now, Magnus. You're just straight up showing off. Like, watch what I'm going to do to this clown. Right? He thought he was sacking on me. Let me show what a sacrifice looks like. Like, whoop! It's like Steph Curry. Between the legs, behind the back. Up, zig one way, zag the other. Euro step, throw it up off the glass, and in. Thank you very much. Cash. This is what I'm going to do to you. Rook to a1. Can't touch it, of course, because if you do that and try to hide, well, boom! Wake up and smell this Norwegian coffee, okay? You're going down as I get a second queen. Nasty. Just rook a1. I mean, seriously, Magnus? You didn't have to do the guy this dirty. Just dirty. You sacked on me? Let me show you how it's done. Let's show you what a real sacrifice looks like. All right? Like a real. Let me show you what a real sack looks like. Let me just do this right. I'll make sure your rook is nice and pinned so it's not going anywhere. And this check is coming, and everybody and the whole world is going to step on your face right about now. You feel me? Take this beat down and love it. I mean, just simply ridiculous. What happened here? Queen moved back to e5. Check. Give me that one. And let me push anyway, and here comes a threat. How badly do you want to lose? Because you know it's going to be bad. It's just bishop a2 is coming, and that's game. That's what you call finishing somebody off in style, just like style. And you know, Magnus is like, whoop, 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 whoop. What about this? Whoop, what about this? Whoop, what about whoop? Man, Rook G8, monster refutation, folks. That one absolutely gets the cake. So the blunder Bishop C4, this is a different level of blunder, folks. The other blunders we saw, they're like blunders. Yo, what are you doing? You hang mate in 2. What are you doing? You blundered a piece. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's just bad. This one, though, literally, White is sacking. White's not just blundering. White's like, honk, got it. Don't touch my bishop, or else I rip you apart with Rook D6. I'm winning. That's what's up. Different kind of blunder until Magnus goes, I don't know what you're smoking, but right now, you're smoking salmon. That's what's happening. I'm eating smoked salmon, and you're the salmon. Okay, we got you, and it's over. That's not a typical blunder. Let's understand it. Now, so this one definitely high level on the blunder scale. If we're writing the book, the first 6 are just like, maybe that doesn't deserve to be in the book because they're just straight blunders. This one in the book, we're putting it in the book, listed. All right. Now the next one. The next one is sweet. This one. All right. Thank you so much, Mutual Flux. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rook A3 instead of Queen A3 would have saved the game, so Magnus blundered 2. Rook A3. What are you talking about? Magnus blundered 2. Analysis. When does Rook A3 show up in this game? What are you talking about? Rook A4. Oh, you mean in this position after E3? Good. Hey, good point. Good point. Must be noted. Rook to A4. E3 was a bad move. Wow. Wow. That is a special point. That I did not note. Okay, this really belongs in the book. This really belongs in the book. E3 was unnecessary. He should have just played Rook A1 right away. I was wondering why Rook A1 wasn't just as good, but I went by it quickly. But you guys just made the very good point. Rook A4. Oh my goodness. Wow. Elucidate. That's slick. That is slick. That is slick. Indeed. White could have saved the game with this move. Very cool because takes runs into check. You have to take and take. And when the king goes back, it looks, this is a very slick and very difficult perpet to find. Like, you can't get out of these checks. Not only that, you got to be careful because they might even take your rook. Holy crap. Yo, I love it. Thank you so much. I like my stream. That's good stuff right there. That is something great to point out, folks. That is something great to point out. Okay. When I was prepping for this show, I did not note that tactic. That is something you guys just pointed out. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's great stuff. Magnus should have won easily, blunders back with this move, and his guy panicked, could have played Rook A4 and saved the game. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I ain't gonna lie. That is good stuff right there. Again, who are we seeing blunder? We're seeing the best of the best of the best in the world making these mistakes. All right? If they can error, so can we. We don't have to feel like we don't make mistakes. All right? So, Rook A4 would have been spectacular to find. You're in a panic mode, and suddenly you play Rook A4, that would have been shocking. Wow. That would have been shocking. absolutely just like, Magnus would have been like, scrambled brain. What? Wow. That's amazing. Love it. Loving it, y'all. Loving it. How these moves, I mean, rook a4, king a8, that doesn't even feel right. That's one of those moves you know doesn't even feel right. If you're going to play this, you're asking to get hit. Well, we can start. Not this check. This is hanging over here. But we could start with this check, and if you take, damn, this gets rich. We can play this check. You got to move, because you put something in the way. We're just hitting you with that, and that's going to be dangerous. So you got to play a king move, allowing this check. And I don't know, this king doesn't look like it's getting out of anywhere. Are you running? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You ain't running nowhere, because queen c6 is Matutski. So what are you doing after rook c5 except going back in the hole? You got to go back. You go here, you get mated. You got to go back, and that's another spectacular draw. Filthy is a good word, Linear Stork. Filthy is a good word. My goodness. Okay, you know an engine found this move. There is no way just casually some human looking at this board was like, yeah, but you should have played rook a4. I mean, come on. Check his pockets. Check the pockets. Get the boss chair out. You find rook a4 in the middle of a fight when you just lost a piece and your rook is hanging, and you play rook a4, check the pockets. Absolutely something's up. You don't just blame, under pressure. I just throw rook a4 out, Magnus. Sorry, you blundered. I'm gonna hang another rook. What? Boss chair all day. Boss chair. Scan him. Sit him down. That's right. Scan. We need a scan. All right? We need a scan. Absolutely. There's no way somebody drops rook a4 on the board and refutes. We don't believe it. We don't believe it. Check the pockets. All right? Let's be clear. That's fantastic. That move is one of the most spectacular moves for a draw I've ever seen. Frankly, in the middle of the fight, think about what it took to get this draw set up, by the way. How do you get, I mean, first of all, the guy just refuted your side. Now you realize you just done screwed up. So your frame of mind is, oh my God, I'm busted. What did I do? I'm busted and I'm disgusted. All right? That's what you're feeling right now. The guy plays check, plays pawn takes, and he's smiling. He's laughing. You're busted. You're over. You're done. It's finished. You see, the only way to stop, you feel like resigning. If I had to play this move and allow this, it's time to resign. Because after king here, it's clear black must have multiple moves. You figure black must be winning tons of ways. There's no way black's not just winning. You just did the worst thing. And rook here would have just done the do. It would have been over because this check is just crushing. Instead, Magnus decided to be fancy with the move e3. And in the middle of you feeling completely demoralized, disgusted, exasperated, frustrated, ready to just punch Magnus in the face. You want to be like, I wish I could punch through the screen and hit him all the way in Norway. You suddenly could sit there and concoct the brilliant rook a4? Nah, man. Nah. No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. This here is miraculous. This right here, this is spectaculicious. This right here, where you're just checking all day, you're threatening to take this one next. I mean, the king's got to move and check. You can't block because that's Matutski. Thank you, Monkey Strategy. Like, are you joking? What is all this? What is all this magnificence? Like, seriously, you try this one? Who are you blocking with? The B-hop? Where we take your rook? Now, this, okay, let's be real. Even this line is amazing. Like right now, white has to be, we're still in the middle of the combination. The combination's not even over yet. Check this out, because here, black is threatening to queen. You can't play queen d1. I mean, you could, and pray that this doesn't just win on the spot, because this one is queening. Okay, taking is trouble. But there's an f7 in this position, distracting, and there's going to be a war that breaks out yet again, and maybe white will survive this one with Perpet. But forget about that, because the combination is still in effect after rook to d7. Guess what? Whoop! Whoop! What? You're threatening to queen. You're not threatening to queen. I'm threatening to queen. You call that a knife? I'm threatening to queen. What the heck? What? 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 Now if you take it, oh, well, thank you so much, because now I'm getting rid of your pawn, and now you're going to get schooled. Now you're going to get schooled. Thank you very much, because it is check, and you're going down. What a fantastic, like, rook a4 is freaking majestic. Majestic. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for showing me that move. I'm glad. I'm glad. See, my stream helps out. That's what my stream does. They tell me the real deal. This is the real deal. When you want to get the real deal, come to this stream, because even if I don't give it, the chat will give it. We got the real deal chat up in here. They follow stuff. They watch stuff. All right? They correct me. They keep me on my toes. Rook a4. Woof, woof. Chess is crazy. Chess is crazy. That's, you know, when I bring these crazy positions, I have a pet peeve. When I bring these crazy positions and people are like, this position's crazy. This is not even practical. Can this really happen? Crazy is creativity, y'all. Crazy is the new creativity. The people you call crazy, maybe they're just so creative, we can't stay with them. We can't hang. When you're playing moves like rook a4, that's cray. That's like, what is that? That makes no sense. You must be losing. You must be dead, lost, busted. Matter of fact, an interesting move I got. No, I can't even play that move because, yeah, I was thinking king a6, but this rook d6 thing is coming, and that I don't want to do that. No, forget that. Forget it. Bishop c4 is possible. We're still up a piece. Takes and huddle up. Let's huddle up. Jad, thank you so much for your tier 1 subscription. Look at this position. Look at this position. Bishop is blocking now. We're talking defense. Rook d6, come on. But don't we have a passed pawn? Isn't your king exposed? Like, are you for real? Can't we like play check and get some kind of money out of this one? You obviously can't go to a dark square because Joey's running. But if you go straight back, it's like, you can't move this. Can we push? Can we push and give you the queen? Takes. Okay, that's mate. That's not going anywhere. If we take, I'm scared. Obviously, I'm scared. Check you. You back up. I want to sack, but I can't. Check. You can do that. Okay, you're annoying. That's annoying. Check. You back up. Check. You do that. Okay, no threat. This is pin. This is pin and this is pin. Push the pawn. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what you do now. Let's see what you do now. Now we're back in business again. This is over. This is over. Plus, white could have drawn anyway, so why would black do any of this? But now white's in control. White's on top of things as this is going nowhere and this is going somewhere with every single piece tied down. Nobody is stopping the f-pawn. Nobody. Everybody's pinned or can't do anything about it. Nobody's stopping. I love pawns like that. Nobody is stopping the f-pawn. I created an amazing puzzle where nobody's stopping a runaway pawn. Ooh, I might show that to you guys later. But this one, it's over. It's over. Done. Nobody can stop the pawn. This is just like sick. This is psycho sick. This, come on, people. let's be real. I'm sitting on this move, rook to a4. Rook to a4 is one of the most insane, amazing, brilliant, fantastical, spectacular moves I've ever seen in my life to save a game in this flow against the world champion. Like, whoa. Just rook a4, draw. Nichia. Nichia. It's draw. It's draw, mofo. It's draw. Wow. Down a piece. Full piece, not even a pawn for the piece. Full bishop, you're down. Your king looks exposed, but for the first time, your king is safer than your opponent's because you're hiding in front of their pawn. Your rook is hanging. Wow. I thought I was showing the less interesting draw than the draw we're about to see. I thought I was showing something that was less spectacular. This just graduated. This makes me wish I had shown the first one, the second one I'm about to show first, and this one second, because this right here is like blunder followed by blunder. Blunderific sighting. Oh, well, if you can do it, so can I. Amazing, y'all. Amazing. All right, we're going to leave this one alone. This was special. This made the whole stream, although we got more great stuff to come. But let's get to the next one that's really and truly brilliant, and it's this one. I mean, everybody's got to be in the party. Like, if you're going to, everybody's got to be in the party. So we bring in all the players from the tournament. We're not discriminating. You know what I'm saying? We don't discriminate. We bring everybody in to say, you guys all blunder. So let's show yet another blunder in this event. And here we go. White is Mr. Mamidirov. He is cleaning house. He is doing his thing. He's up 2 pawns. He's got a rook all in the face. His bishop is dominant. It is an opposite color bishop position, so it's going to be some work. No question about it. You see the opposite color bishops tend towards a draw if you're not down 2 pawns. Like, you're down 2 pawns. All right? This, trying to make it work. This rook is in a very good spot, nice and active. So, all right, let's see what's going to happen. So he plays bishop to a6. What you going to do? It's not easy for white, but rook d7 check. King backs up. The beautiful thing is the rook is hanging. The rook is hanging. And this bishop needs to be paid attention to. So what did he do? He played rook to d6. It was possible to move the rook away. It was possible to move the rook away and play that position without your piece being pinned. That was possible. But this looks extremely harmonious. Just harmony, harmony. Looks like a good idea, right? Bishop moved. King in. How much more beauteous can you be looking at this position? White is thinking, this, I smell the food. Just put it in my mouth now. Just bring it. Waiter, thank you. That's what I ordered. I ordered smoked Duboff, actually roasted Duboff. Yes, that's right. That's a great meal. Roast Duboff. I want some roast Duboff right now. I'm smelling it. It's coming. It's coming. Bishop b3. What's that going to do? Okay, you're blockaded. Fine. Now I move the rook out the way. Let's do this. Let's do this. Here I come. I'm going to get you now. Bishop over. Okay. No problem. I see you trying to go after my little pawny there. Check. Move your king. All right. Check. Move your king again. Where you putting it? Oh, your king is leaving my juicy fat passer? You are dead in the water now. Your king is gone. Now, if he just had a little bit of, the next move, this move he sees in his nightmares. This must have pained him to no end because this is over, folks. This is as done as done. If I were a commentator, if I were one of the commentary team, it was me, Jennifer, and Yasser, we'd be like, okay, this one's over. Let's take a look at something else. We'll come back to this when it's over. We'll show you the finish of the game. That's exactly what we do. We're like, it's 2 pawns. You're getting schooled. Your king is out of the way now. You're dead. This is done. This is done. We would have left, especially after this next move. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, you're about to get schooled. You're about to lose your piece. King's going to move down. Pawn's going to push. And this is going to be pushing, baby. Look at this construction. We would be extolling the virtues of this masterful construction. Masterful, we say. King is going to go down. Pawn's going to push. You're going to see this pawn is defending that bishop. I mean, is defended by that bishop. So with this pawn, this rook is defending, this king is defending, and the pawn. That would be a masterful construction. Masterful. King down and pawn push, and it's like one connected chain. Masterful. Genius. Until Duboff said, I'll take your genius, masterful, and play this absolutely genius, unbelievable trap that is like, oh my God, what just happened? Rook to F1, attacking a pawn that can no longer be defended. You're not defending it. It's about to go. Allowing you to play check. Allowing the bishop to drop to find. Boom! What the hell just happened? Like, what just happened? Out of nowhere, wake up, smell the merch. Hello, stalemate in the middle of the damn board. Like, what? What? That is absolutely incredible. That is a Houdini-like save if you've ever seen one. Just like wizardry. Absolute wizardry. Pure magic. Pure magic. You're dead in the water. I mean, how do you, if you're Shaq right now, you're like, he probably still hurting even now. Like, when he went to bed that night, he was like, he probably saw Rook F5 in his nightmare. He's like, you know, Beth Harmon is seeing chess pieces on the ceiling. He sees Rook F5. He's looking up. He's like, Rook F5. He looks over, closet door, Rook F5. He looks over by the lamp, Rook F5. All of a sudden, the sheets, Rook F5. He looks under the bed, Rook F5. Like, oh my God, oh my God, I can't. He closes his eyes, under his eyelids, Rook F5. It's like, how did I let Rook F5 happen? I can't believe I lost like that. I lost my win. I could have won the game. I was winning. Like, yo, oh my gosh, it's so bad. It was so bad. You let the guy trick you like this. Oh. 2 rook moves, by the way. Rook A4, Magnus would have fallen for, and Rook A5. But this was clean. This one's just clean. This was just absolute straight swing delicious. Thank you, Sir Nitty. I mean, yeah, this was played. This is the game. We are in the game. This is what happened in the game. I'm curious to know if he even realized it was stalemate when he played King takes F5. Maybe he took and was like, what? It's a stalemate? I'm pretty sure he knew it was a stalemate.